Frankly, as Secretary Pate and I were briefly chatting about beforehand, this election has just required all hands on deck.
Protecting the integrity and the security of our state's elections requires a massive team effort. In our case, we worked with our county and state and federal partners to ensure Iowa's election infrastructure was protecting in all 99 counties. And this was, as Maggie mentioned, not the top priority until just the last few years. And we quickly had to develop more talent, skills, and resources.
The reality is, yes, there may be some domestic and even state-specific threats to our election security, but this is an overall threat to critical infrastructure of our country, that is our election systems. And we need and are dependent upon that partnership with the federal government to help combat that threat.
Public confidence in our elections is so crucial. So we don't want to mislead voters into thinking their vote has been jeopardized or tampered with.
None of this is done behind closed doors. These are all very public, transparent processes. The laws, the absentee board as it's going through its process. States have different laws about who can be present and who can observe and how you can observe. But that's something really important that I don't think a lot of folks know, is that these are all very publicly and independently observable processes. So none of this is being done in the dark of night. And so voters can have, I think, really high confidence.
What we're trying to do here is to encourage people, and we're partnering with Twitter and Facebook and other stakeholder groups, to encourage Americans to look to their trusted sources for election information. That's your local election folks and your state secretaries or election offices. That's where you want to go, because sadly, there is too much misinformation and disinformation out there. And they're coming from foreign entities, and some come from local voters spreading a rumor that's inaccurate. I like to tell everybody affectionately in Iowa, the Russians did not hack a single vote in 2016 election, but they did send out a lot of disinformation to create discord among Americans. And that's their goal right now. And I'm appealing to all of you who are watching us and listening to this. We need your help with this.
My hat goes off to my colleague for starting the Trusted Info 2020 campaign initiative. Of course, I carried it forward. I am carrying it forward with the organization because I would agree with Secretary Pate. This is probably the #1 issue we deal with. I spend most of my time these days talking to groups like this or speaking to the media about the election and what we're doing to prepare and everything you need to know. And I spend probably a good half of that time talking about, things that, are misunderstood, that people have been misinformed about, and especially when it comes to how, where, and when to cast your ballot, to try to get that information directly from your local or state election.